Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host, Angel, and with me today are my co-hosts.
Eugene?
And Vaughn.
All right, a little round two ending. I don't know what I guess game seven madness, because that's the main reason why we're here today, is because there's still game sevens happening. Knicks Pacers are literally 4 minutes away from being over, and then Wolves and Nuggets play 2 hours from now. So let's just talk about the series that have finished since we last met, which is, I think, only the Thunder, Mavs, and
Celtics, Cavs.
Celtics Cavs. So let's talk about Celtics Cavs first. Bye, Cavs. You stood no chance. The fact that you made it past the first round was lucky, anyways. What did y'all think about that series?
I mean, as a series as a whole, it wasn't very interesting because everyone kind of saw what was going to happen. But it also sucks there were injuries. Like, I know Jarrett Allen was pretty much out for basically the whole thing. Um, but like the fallout that's happened ever since is kind of like intriguing because you got the Jarrett Allen thing where like some players among, or even just the organization, mad that he didn't want to play through the pain, which is like, why would you want him to do that in a series you know you're gonna lose? Like, it's not like this is a finals run. There's nothing to gain from that except like potentially worsening his injury. And then there's the whole Donovan Mitchell thing. Like, is he gonna sign back? Is he not? There's reports that he would if Darius Garland was traded, possibly. And Darius Garland will request a trade if he doesn't get a max extension. So it's kind of like hell for a Cavs fan right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were all those I guess rumors per se circulating around the Cavs, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't much of a series to watch. We all knew, pretty much every NBA fan knew that the Cavs were going to lose. Especially because they were riddled with injuries. I didn't even realize Donovan Mitchell was hurt until that like last game. Um So obviously, when your key contributors to the team can't play in the playoffs, you're more likely to lose than win. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens this offseason in terms of Garland and Mitchell. Do you guys think Garland is going to leave?
Bro, if I'm the Cavs, I'm not getting rid of Garland because he wants to be there. Donovan Mitchell never wanted to be on the Cavs.
Right.
Like, this is like the third time where there's rumors about him wanting to leave.
Mm,
Like, at that point, you kind of have to let him leave.
mm,
So, like, I wouldn't get rid of Garland, especially because he has a lot more time with them. You know what I
mm.
mean? Not only that, he's younger too. Like, it just doesn't make sense to choose Mitchell over Garland.
Right.
Like, if you're gonna get rid of anyone, it might be Jarrett Allen, just because Evan Mobley proved himself he could be the big man for the Cavs. Like, he was like basically the only one getting going on the Cavs offense and defense once Mitchell went out. Plus, like, if you pay Mitchell, that's such a hefty sum,
Mm.
and like you already have Darius Garland's extension on the way. It's just probably best to break up the experiment and build around those two young guys.
Yeah. Especially like you can trade Mitchell and probably get something good out of it.
Oh, you definitely
Right.
could. Either, if they want to rebuild through the draft, they get some pretty good draft picks, or if they want to try for another, superstar player, they could do that too. But they could definitely get something good out of Donovan Mitchell.
It was always going to be tough to have a competitive team when your two guards are like the shortest of like combo. Like,
Yeah.
we already saw that happen kind of with the Trailblazers with Dame and CJ McCollum. Not like the tallest guards, not the most defensive minded guards, offensively gifted, but like they tried that for years and years, and I don't think the Cavs should try and trap themselves in that.
Hmm.
All right. And then Mavs Thunder finished yesterday. 1 point difference. What do you guys think of that series? What do you think of the Mavs' chance as a whole as well,
There's no way they make it out of the conference finals, bro.
bro?
Against either team, like, come on.
I
There's no
don't.
way.
At this point, I don't know. I have been hating on them for so long, and they just keep winning. Especially
Bro,
if the Nuggets make it out of here, I'm low-key worried for them, bro. The Nuggets are
really?
looking sorry, bro.
I know, but the Wolves are a completely different team than the Mavs. You know what I
don't
mean?
know.
Like, the Nuggets have a full roster. The Mavs don't. They have Luka and Kyrie.
That's
And
what we keep saying, but they keep winning series. This is their second Game 6 series win.
I don't know, bruh. I don't know. I'm still not a believer, bruh.
Even Kyrie, bro, Kyrie is looking insane.
Of course, like playoff Kyrie is a lot different than, regular season Kyrie, as
Yeah.
we have come to see throughout the years. But and even same with Luka. Playoff Luka is different, more different than regular season Luka. But I don't know, bruh. There's only so much that two players can do, and especially, I'm not gonna say they can't play defense, but their defense doesn't shine per se. So it's like, I don't know. Offense wins games, defense wins championships, and I feel like their lack of defense, will come to bite them in the ass. You know what I mean?
Mm.
No, this playoff specifically, I've seen Luca try his hardest on defense. Like I've never seen him like lock someone down, and that's happened on multiple occasions. And then the thing with Kyrie is like he'll start off slow, and then first half he'll have like 20, 30 games after having single digits.
Yeah.
It's insane to watch. And then Jason Kidd is probably outcoached in both rounds. So I'd be worried either if I was Chris Finch or Mike Malone because he's been making the readjustments he's needed and it's won them the games. Not to mention like there were role players in the Mavericks, like after being asked for 3/4 of game, will hit an insane shot. Like PJ Washington hit an insane three. He hit those free throws to win them that game. It's just I don't know how this is happening, but
it's a fever dream, bro.
It really is. And they got the Timberwolves facing Nuggets. If Nuggets come out, it seems like the strategy for the Timberwolves has let Jokic get his for the most part, just limit all the other guys. Because if Jamal Murray's not hitting shots, it's just such a more difficult game for Jokic to play. And the Mavericks could totally try to employ that strategy. And then if it's the Timberwolves coming up, it's just you got to get them off their rhythm. So I think the Mavs could be totally capable of reaching the finals. Are they my favorites? No. Whoever's winning Timberwolves Nuggets, I think, is definitely my surefire lock. But
I agree with that. But I'm just not gonna write them off, bro.
Yeah, it's maybe more competitive than people think it is.
Because a lot of people are straight up saying whoever wins tonight is going to the finals. And that's insane. That's insane to me.
I think that's the case for the Wolves. I think if the Wolves win, they'll go to the finals.
Yeah, maybe.
Not necessarily the Nuggets, though. You know what I mean? Like, the Nuggets have overall like a better team, but the way they've been playing in the playoffs is not how they've been playing the entire season. You know what I mean? So I feel like the Wolves could. I won't be disrespectful and say wipe them, but like I think they could 4-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for the Thunder too, bro. To go out on free throws.
Yeah.
They were looking so solid too. Like the fact that they had a good chance on making it to the conference finals is insane.
For the first time since like KD and Russ and them.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But yeah, I mean, they did have a good run. Especially given Pacers won.
Yeah, well, I looked at the score and I kind of figured they did because it was like they were up like 20 with like 2 minutes left.
The final was 130-109. That's crazy though. DiVincenzo had 40.
Crazy.
Anyways, damn. So it's Celtics Pacers.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that. Where did I leave off? I don't remember.
Thunder playoff run.
Oh yeah, it was very impressive to see them, from not making even the play-ins last year up to contending for a conference final spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with how young those guys are. So hopefully next season's better.
Bright future. I do want to comment on the fact that like a lot of people are saying this is the worst 1 seed of all time. Like that's so insane. Like as if we
Break
haven't
it.
had Utah Jazz like straight up lose in first rounds multiple times.
Yeah, like they're calling like Jalen Williams or Josh Giddey frauds, but this is their first playoffs.
Mhm.
Like you gotta cut them some slack. Like
Yeah.
Chet showed how versatile he is on defense and how he can hit big shots. Shea did not shy away from anything. Like even if he was losing or his team was on like the sour end of things, he was always killing it. But like there's certain things like they can fix. Like if they could get a big that could like relieve Chet Holmgren of center defense constantly.
Of
Like maybe
actually
even have
playing big.
yeah. Chet at power forward could be a very good thing to have at the disposal, and maybe some sort of forward, like a large forward. I thought Gordon Hayward was going to do something. That man had 0 points throughout the entire playoffs. Like
Yeah.
nothing. He's talking about how he's frustrated with his role. Bro, you took like 3 shots. You did absolutely nothing. So
I feel like in his situation though, like he got traded at trade deadline, so it was like the Thunder already had their thing going, and he had to try and find where he fit in the team halfway through the season.
Mhm.
So I feel like because like even the same thing with Terry Rozier, like he never really found his place in Miami, at least this season, because Miami wasn't really on a roll per se, but they had some traction throughout the season. And the system they had in place didn't necessarily fit Terry or Gordon at the time. If Gordon leaves, I wouldn't be surprised, but if he stays, I think I could see him playing a bigger role on the team. You know what I mean? Just like a veteran presence off the bench kind of thing. But I mean, we'll see how that goes.
Makes me wonder if that trade hurt the Thunder because losing Trey Mann was another ball handler who could shoot.
Mm-hmm.
At least he would be contributing to the team. Like he's drafted there, the team knows him. Versus Gordon Hayward, just not really a fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just those what ifs, I guess.
Yeah. And then, like Eugene said, Pacers and Knicks just won their game. I feel like this was probably just an insane series that I really didn't see coming. What did you guys think about Pacers Knicks as a whole? And do you believe in the Pacers?
I mean, they've had the benefit that both the Bucks and the Knicks have been injured pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely some bright spots to see with the Pacers team, be it whether it's Tyrese Halliburton showing up, it's Miles Turner showing how reliable his defense and 3-point shooting is, or Siakam being a good number 2, like looking competitive ever since winning that chip, or even guys like Aaron Nesmith or TJ McConnell who just have a fire under them.
Hey, Andrew Nembhard too, bro.
Yeah, hitting big shots. So there's not much of a place to put this team down, like I've been seeing on social media, but they're going against the Celtics next. That's a tough opponent. They're not going to be the injury-riddled Knicks, unfortunately.
It's also like you can't be inconsistent with them. Like the Pacers are really inconsistent this series, and I honestly think that's another reason why it went to Game 7. Is because like I think the Pacers probably could have done could have gotten it done a lot sooner, but like they were just disappear at times. Like Halliburton would just like have a poor showing out of nowhere. And so I just think against the Celtics, you can't really be inconsistent, bro. Because with them, they have so many weapons that like when they're inconsistent, there's someone to replace that person. And with like the
If
Pacers,
it's
they don't
not
have
JT,
that.
it's JB. If it's not JB, it's Derek
Por-
White. Like
It's Porzingis, it's Holiday, it's really whoever feels like showing out that day.
no, literally.
Al Horford of all people will just like go off.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacer fan in me has belief, that they could win. The realistic basketball fan in me has no belief. Because like you said, like even just throughout watching that series, I feel like there was a lot of games that they could have won. And it seemed like at like some points they just kind of like stopped playing, which was why, some of these score differences were so like big or whatever. But I don't really know. I hope they play the best this series than they have played. But yeah, kind of like Vaughn said, they've had not an easy playoff run, but there have been a lot of contributing factors that have helped. And it helped that Jalen Brunson literally fractured his hand during that game that they just won. So, I mean, God forbid anything happens to the Celtics injury wise, but anything's possible. So,
Yeah, we'll see for sure.
Shout out Coach Stibbs for not learning his lesson and playing his players into the ground, playing every minute of some games. It's no wonder why the Knicks got beat up so badly. But I don't even know what you do with a system like that where you have to play 95% of each game.
mhm.
And you know what's crazy? He's gonna keep his job. That man is not fired.
Classic Knicks for
Yeah.
you.
I mean, yeah, he even played OG and he literally left like 5 minutes in.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, he really doesn't learn his lesson. But I think that series has potential. I see some people already saying it's going to be a boring series, easy Celtics win, but it definitely has potential to be interesting.
Mhm.
It's up to the Pacers to make it interesting. Okay, and then the big one, the one that I think everyone is excited for this game tonight, Nuggets Timberwolves. Who do you see coming out of this?
Nuggets are home, right?
It is at home. Nuggets at home, yeah.
I got the Wolves, bro. I got the Wolves. It's hard. Like, I'm not saying that with ease, but based on how both of these teams have been playing, has anyone won at home yet or not?
Both teams have won one game at home.
I guess that would make sense given it's a game 7. But I'm just gonna go strictly based off how the earlier the earlier games were going. Ant seems to love being the villain, and I say he pops off for like a cool 30. And the Wolves will make it to the conference finals for the first time since probably like 87.
I have to agree. I'm going with Timberwolves here. I know before the series even started, I said Nuggets, but the Wolves know they just have to limit Jamal Murray and not Jokic, and it's just such a pain for Jokic to either make his assist numbers go up or he's going to have to go through help defense between a Rudy Gobert and Cat or Cat and Naz Reid. So if this win is completely hinging on Jamal Murray's performance. Like
That's actually a crazy way to put it.
If he's out of rhythm. If he's not scoring, it's kind of a wrap for a Nuggets team. The other guys could pitch in, be it Porter Jr. or KCP or Aaron Gordon, but you kind of know what those guys are going to do as well. KCP, Michael Porter Jr. loves shooting the three. Jokic gets them so many good looks, like that's just going to happen. And then Aaron Gordon is probably going to get his dunker spot, his alley oops, But it's just, for me, in my eyes, it just comes down to Jamal Murray.
This is pure bias. I'm saying Nuggets. Pure bias. I'm scared, bro. I'm honestly scared. There's no way you don't win by almost 50 and then come back and with no they're probably so confident, bro.
I mean, that also is true because that last game was absolutely horrendous for the Wolves.
Like the Wolves slaughtered us, bro. They straight up slaughtered us. I don't think I've ever seen a playoff game where one team was just dominating that badly.
Or even scored under 80. They scored 70, bro. That's crazy.
No, it was to the point where Jokic sat out the entire fourth quarter. It's like we had no hope in coming back that game, bro. We literally lost all hope.
Right.
I just think I honestly can't tell you though, without bias, I can't tell you who's gonna win because we've seen poor showings from several times from each team. We've seen the Wolves just not show up, and we've seen the Nuggets not show up. But we've also seen the Wolves dominate, and we've seen the Nuggets dominate.
Mm.
This is probably the most inconsistent playoff series we've seen so far.
No, literally. Actually.
We saw the Timberwolves go up 2-0 away, and then the Nuggets went 3 in a row. and then the Wolves fucking win by 50 in game 6. I have no idea what's gonna happen tonight, honestly.
I'm excited though.
Oh yeah,
I'm super excited.
It should be a good game, especially I think everyone is healthy. I think Jamal Murray, Mike Malone said he's feeling good, but how true is that really? You're not gonna play him and say, "Oh no, he's not feeling that great, but I'm playing him anyways." He's saying he feels good, he's looking good. I think that's just because he's playing no matter what, and that might hurt us, bro. Because if he's actually not feeling good, but he's playing anyway, he's already struggling this series, and it's an elbow injury. I don't know. I'm scared for sure.
That just means Jokic 50-point game incoming.
Yeah, facts. I mean, he had 40 already.
Yeah, he has a 50-point game. I think it was last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
I think if Murray could although he doesn't necessarily need to, but you're saying he's not he is 100%, but not. I think he could, tap into his passing ability though. You know what I mean? Because I think me personally, I think he's an underrated passer. People don't think about him passing a whole lot. They just, step up because he's gonna shoot. But I think if he could help out Jokic on the passing front and just get the ball swinging, might be able to do some damage there as well.
Yeah, it just depends on how they game plan today too. Because he also has good driving abilities. He can get in the paint. So it just depends on how they want to use him. Do they want him for his speed and just get in the paint, or do they want him, like you said, you need to just focus on passing and open up the floor? I was
just gonna say assists count just as much as points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It shows up in a different stat. So
for sure. And even then, I think even if he was healthy, they should do that anyways. He is not shooting well.
So but I feel like that would work, at least work well enough for them to win. They just have to, figure out something a system that works for Jokic and Murray. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we can get it done today. I can't have both the Avs and the Nuggets lose in the second round, bro. I just can't handle that all in the span of a week. Like,
I will say though, if anyone is your leading scorer other than Jokic, y'all are losing. It happens every time, even if it's Murray.
yeah, true. I mean, it's also like, what Gobert are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the Gobert who's depoy, or are we gonna get the Gobert who's like getting cooked?
A defensive liability.
Like, which Gobert is showing up tonight?
I mean, you could also say that though about Ant and Cat though, because Ant has been pretty inconsistent in the games he's lost. You know, he hasn't shot well, or Cat, you know, whether he's just making dumb plays or not. So you could say that about the Stars on the Wolves too. But I think both teams, obviously it's game 7, so both teams have something to play for. But you know, both teams will have a fire lit under them, kind of thing, you know, for their own reasons.
It's also like Mike Conley, he returned and they blew us out.
Yeah.
So what if it's Mike Conley, bro? He's the secret stuff, bro. He missed game 5, they lost game 6, he's back and they blow him out.
No, it seriously, like, he's the brains of that offense there, because like if you have Ant making the decision making, like he's probably looking to score, but he has improved, I would say, even through this playoffs and since Team USA playing, that he does make better decisions. But Cat, I feel like, is always just going to make the wrong decision. He's the one I'm always worried about. But having Mike Conley there, so like either if the momentum's against him, he'll swing it their way. He's just like a smart, intelligent player. He makes the right plays. Like, in a way, he's their Drew Holiday on, like, as a point guard for getting an offense moving. So
yeah, Mike is a true floor general.
Yeah, like as I think true point guards diminish, like his value, it seems like, has gone up.
Like every team wants a player like him on their team, you know?
Yeah.
Like if he was on the Suns, like I don't know if the Timberwolves would be here right now. Like there's some brains behind, some thought going into how to get things moving. So
yeah, we'll see, bro. I mean, after a game like game 6, you know, one team is coming in like super confident. It's just if how down are the Nuggets, you know?
Right.
Like are they really like beat up about it, or are they just like goldfish memory and just come in and act like it never happened?
I mean, me personally, I would go fish memory. Not necessarily in the fact that like we're
that's because you're a dog, Eugene. You got not everyone's like that.
No, well, not necessarily like completely forget about it. Obviously, you still want to remember it, you know, to like, you know, let's not get beat like that again. You know what I mean? But also like, you know, that was game 6. This is game 7. This is win or go home or stay home. You know what I mean? So like that's how I'd go into it as the Nuggets, but we'll see how they go into it.
Yeah, especially with like your home crowd. Like if you go on a run, they're gonna be crazy for you. You know? So it's like you kind of shake off every doubt you had from last game once you got like fans praising you and you can't hear your coach speak because it's so loud in there. So
they have every advantage right now.
But we have seen the Timberwolves shut up that crowd too, though.
Also true. Which is why I said like Ant he enjoys being the villain. So it's like if Ant has any sort of like, you know, like personal like 10-0 run, that crowd's gonna go silent. You can hear a pin drop. He's gonna be yelling all around the court. Cat is gonna tap into that. He'll probably, you know, get 10, 15, 20 himself. So bro, this game could go any kind of way because we've seen it literally this entire series.
Yeah, we've seen literally every version of what these teams could be. So it's just like, which version are they picking today? Like, are we gonna see the Nuggets who get blown out by 50, or we're gonna see the Nuggets with Jokic dropping a 40-point triple double. Like it's really like I think that's another reason why this game is so exciting is because you literally have no idea like how it's gonna go.
Mm.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add in?
Not really. I really just want to see the Mavs, bro. Like, they shouldn't have beat the Clippers. First of all, there's no way they should have beat the Clippers. They sent them to Cancun. In my head, like, I guess it makes sense that they beat the Thunder, but it also doesn't make sense because the Thunder were playing so well.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent them to Cancun. So it's like,
who's a bigger question mark? The Mavs, the Celtics, the Pacers, or the Timberwolves and Nuggets? Like out of those, biggest question mark. Like you just don't know how they're gonna perform.
Pacers.
Yeah,
I feel like we all pretty much know how the Mavs are gonna play. You know what I mean? It's just the Luka and Kyrie show. Maybe the occasional role player, pop off for 20. But I feel like for the Mavs, it's more or less just like, are they gonna win? Like, are they actually gonna go to the finals? You know what I mean? So I guess that would be a question mark. But in terms of how they're going to play, I would say the bigger question mark is the Pacers.
I'm completely reverse. I think it's a 4-1 Celtics win over the Pacers. This is like a real team they're going against. Whereas Mavericks, like I had them predicted coming out the first round, but definitely not against the Thunder. And then they pulled out. They didn't even need a 7-game series for that. They did it in 6. I think it's just so concerning that they have to face the Thunder or the Nuggets, which were basically tied for the first seed all year long with the Thunder. And they have like the veterans they need. They have the coaching they need. It's just more complete over there versus the Thunder's inexperience. And it's just the Mavericks are, I don't know, man. Like, Luka, Kyrie probably getting 30, maybe even 40 in some games. And some random guy will step up. Like I already mentioned Peter Wang, but Derek Jones Jr. was hitting fadeaway mid-ranges. I've never seen him hit those shots in my life. Dante Exum is back from Europe. He has a role on this team somehow. It's a perfect team to underestimate, I would say. I think that is their advantage. You're probably going to see on ESPN how easy the Nuggets or Timberwolves are going to have it. But I think it could be another 6 or 7 game series on the way for them.
I will say, though, if the Nuggets do win, they might be a pretty big question mark, too, though.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, if the Nuggets win, they're a question mark. And if the Timberwolves win, the Mavs are the question mark.
Right.
But I think, the Nuggets, if they win, because, even against the Lakers, don't get me wrong, the Lakers still lost 4-1, yeah. But the Nuggets were down so much in that series. And they, I honestly think if Darvin Ham wasn't the coach, that could have been a 7-game series with the Lakers maybe winning. But, they just haven't been looking like themselves this entire playoff run. And I think their wins are making people not realize that. The fact that they beat the Lakers 4-1, the fact that they're going to get into Game 7 against the Timberwolves. People aren't realizing how sloppy the Nuggets have been playing lately. Christian Braun, is getting solid minutes, and he's either a solid player or he's 4 points in 28 minutes. So it's I really don't know if the Nuggets make it out. I really don't know if we're gonna win against the Mavs or not, because it's just how sloppy we've been.
It's also Jamal Murray is playing injured. That's not going to go away. They play again in 3 days, and today's probably not going to be an easy game. So it's does he recover enough for another full series, or is it going to be bothering him too throughout there? So
Yeah.
Right, because even okay, so let's say the Nuggets do make it. He's hurt right now. You said it's 3 days before the
yeah,
conference finals.
they play Wednesday. Yeah.
So that'd be like a 3-day rest.
Mhm.
And then how long does a 7-game series take?
It's like I think the NBA. I don't know because they changed it because like it was every other day,
Right.
but like this time, like the last time the Nuggets played was like what, Thursday.
I have it up right here.
So like
Thursday, yeah.
so it just depends on how the NBA schedules it because it was every other day, and then like after Game 6, it's been like almost 4 days.
So we'll
Three.
say like a week and a half.
Yeah,
Because also the travel days too. But in between that, he's also playing, and then potentially could re-aggravate it. To whatever extent, whether it just hurts a little bit more or he sits out. But then, you make it to the finals, they probably have like a week off before they start playing for that. So that could help, but they got to make it there.
yeah.
But it also depends how long they make the conference finals. So
And like again, it's like they're saying he's feeling good, but like
Mhm.
how true is that? You
Mm.
know, like today, OJ Anunoby, like he played and then he immediately was like off and like didn't come
Oh.
back for the entire. So like, who knows if Jamal Murray actually is 100% or not?
Mm-hmm.
True. Plus, it's like something that is in the back of his mind. Like, what if he re-aggravates it? Like, there's a loose ball. He could re-injure it, or he just doesn't even die for it. Like, lets him have it. Could be
Yeah,
a key play. Like, or maybe it's just enough where he's shooting and he thinks about his elbow. Just like it just throws him off for a millisecond, and it's enough to like get him out of his rhythm. It's just little things like that. Like, depending on the severity of it, we really don't know. We won't know until we see how he plays today, I guess.
yeah.
But it is a big question mark.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, bro. We'll see. Well, that shorter episode today, but that's because we just wanted to give some updates and give our thoughts on the games going on and at least go over the Eastern Conference Finals and at least a little preview of the Western Conference Finals. If you are listening on any podcast platform, make sure you give us that good old 5 stars, leave a review, let us know who you think is the biggest question mark and who do you see going to the finals. We are on YouTube for video formats, so make sure you like and subscribe there. We're on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock, so make sure you follow us there and so you can keep up with clips and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.